She said yes. JinWoo's love finally got through to MinJeong. Sadly, Beyond the Bar has come to an end. We might have wanted a different outcome for HyoMin and SeokHoon, as their chemistry had been palpable even through the screens. Even the AI matching system could tell they'd be good for one another. However, this doesn't take away from how educational, entertaining, and interesting the series has been. As they're both figuring out what love is, I'd like to think that it'll take them into each other's arms. They both started a new book. Now, if only that Esquire logo allowed SeokHoon to finish his sentence. What a twinkle in his eyes. Beyond the Bar is arguably one of the best legal dramas in recent years. The story, the cast, and the cinematography were spot on. The audience is already clamoring for a second season because, as great as it is that JinWoo and MinJeong found their happily ever after, SeokHoon and HyoMin's story felt unfinished. We need to know the final outcome of their late-night tête-à-tête and handkerchief moments. There's never a doubt about how HyoMin felt about SeokHoon. It's been there and clear all along. However, for her to have considered and actually gone on a blind date indicates that, just as she said, she's still unsure of what she truly feels. But then, she couldn't be any happier to discover that SeokHoon was her blind date. She didn't want the date to end, and didn't hide that she was pleased it turned out to be him. However, despite their chemistry, SeokHoon didn't see HyoMin as a potential love interest, as he ticked off what he considered wrong. Their age gap, the fact that she's his junior, and he'd initiated the policy about partners not dating associates, and that she's never been married like him. To sum it up, he considered her too good for him. But then, he's in support of JinWoo and MinJeong's relationship, despite knowing that MinJeong is 10 years older than JinWoo, just as he's 11 years older than HyoMin. This means there's still hope for him and HyoMin. Moreover, his ex-wife had given him an ultimatum on how to obtain sole custody of Hash. He readily agreed, as he'd do anything to have Hash. Yeon had noticed HyoMin's consideration and interest in SeokHoon in episode 11. And after dumping the past on him, she thought she'd help him move on by making the suggestion. This way, she can finally be free of the past, knowing that he has someone in his corner. Be it a roommate or a wife. This kind of shows how much they once meant to each other. What's more, the last episode educated viewers on love and marriage, highlighting the different types and stages of love. Coming from a divorced family, the contract couple thought it'd be best to get into a loveless marriage. You can see reason from both sides. However, is this what's best for the child? Seeing his parents in a loveless union, with his parents dating others other than each other. I think it was the fear of being abandoned, after loving, that plunged them into such an arrangement. However, it was wrong of the wife to try to hold her husband to the contract. Contracts can be negotiated when the terms change. The husband fell in love with his contract wife, and couldn't stand seeing her with someone else. It would have been torture for him, had the court ruled differently. Thankfully, things turned out wonderfully in the end. They both started a new page by tying the knot. Their love might not be forever, but at least they're giving it a chance, not letting the fear of the unknown keep them shackled. Meanwhile, Hyo-ju also got her closure. This was one of the emotional moments in the grand finale. To think that she kept away from her parents, because she didn't want them to be sad. It was heart-wrenching when she couldn't decide whether to call her mom or auntie. And when she reassured them that she was happy, I bawled my eyes out. HyoMin must have arranged this. If you noticed, she brought gifts for Cherry, her mother's new cat. This means that after her heart-to-heart with her mother, HyoMin had contacted her sister. As she found closure, she also must have wanted her sister to do the same. What's more, it's wonderful that viewers got to see how the clients of past cases are doing. The model with the scars went back to modeling and has a new beau. In-young, whose father had abused. Thriving and happy with the housekeeper. The No Collision Boys case. In therapy, relearning how to walk, with his mother now aware of the consequences of being a helicopter parent. Jung Chae Yeon's friend, can now openly draw her father, without fear of hurting her mother. Suk's sister, Sukyeon, finally divorced her husband. It's nice that he also apologized for what he put her through. Dr. Jisoo is still doing the best she can for her patient. Jung Chae Yeon is still in prison, missing his wife. Our last couple finally got married, and can be seen happy with their son. HyoMin and her friends decided that being each other's second priority isn't bad. What's more, they say you don't know the value of what you have until you lose it. Sung-chan tried to get back with HyoMin, but that ship has already sailed on HyoMin's end. He dumped her without ceremony, just because she had a disabled sister. HyoMin couldn't help but sneak in that diss in court. Now SeokHoon knows that there was a history here. What's more, Nayeon and SeokHoon got their victory. Sung Cheol easily agreed to their terms. His meeting with Yeol Song reminded him of his love for Yulim. At least for her 3-year tenure, Nayeon won't have to look over her shoulders because of the scheming Sung Cheol. In all, this was an enlightening and wonderful series. Although I would have liked them to let SeokHoon finish his sentence, I have little hope for a second season. The series was created with careful consideration, especially since it was written by an attorney. Would you want a second season? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this series? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications for all things K-drama. Thanks for watching, bye.